This is CBS.
Protests over a farm foreclosure in western Minnesota prompt law enforcement officials to take unprecedented action.
May Day was marked by beautiful spring weather in the Twin Cities. The thermometer hit 69 degrees today, and warmer weather is expected tomorrow.
Kent Herbeck and the Twins continue their torrid pace, winning their 10th in a row today.
Those stories and the rest of the day's news coming up on tonight's 6 p.m. report.
Louise, I never knew your sister sang at the Apollo Theater.
There are a lot of things you don't know about Weezy's sister. Go and tell her, Weezy.
Tonight, following the 10 p.m. report on Channel 4.
16 times each minute, the outside air enters an inner world, rushing through narrower and narrower passages toward a microscopic miracle. The exchange of poisonous carbon dioxide for life-giving oxygen. At MedCenter's health plan, we do all we can to safeguard this miracle of nature. And we never forget that it isn't just a human lung. It's your human lung.
Great news. More Toyota values on the way. A new shipment of America's #1 selling import cars and trucks will be arriving at your Toyota dealer shortly. Right now, he knows the exact models, colors, and options coming in, and you could put your name on one of them. You'll be driving your new Toyota home soon. Toyota value has always been worth waiting for. Now you don't have to. The Toyotas are coming, the Toyotas are coming. Come on in and see your dealer and make your deal today.
Yourself, okay? Good evening, everyone. Pat Miles has this evening off. A farm foreclosure sale in Madison, Minnesota sparked clashes between the sheriff and protesters. Both were showing a new determination, Deb.
And groundswell organizers plan to challenge the sale, claiming it should be ruled invalid because of the unorthodox way in which it was conducted. Colleen Needles reports.
It began as a familiar story. This time it was Russell and Sue Mosing of Boyd, Minnesota at the courthouse steps, and again on the front line, the supporters of the groundswell movement.
We look at ourselves and we say we're few in numbers here today, but the intentions are there, the feelings are there, the desire is there.
With spring planting underway, the group hadn't expected an enormous crowd, and in all, 70 farmers showed up. But what they lacked in number, they made up for in effort when the sheriff arrived to conduct the sale.
No sale! 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 No.
Sheriff Graylin Carlson tried to read the foreclosure notice, but it was ripped away. But the apparent standoff was short-lived because the sheriff had planned ahead. As he remained pinned in outside, his deputies broadcast a pre-recording of the notice through the courthouse windows. Unsure of what was happening, the Mosings looked on and hoped for the best.
It's a really good feeling to have people behind you and working for you.
But the efforts were in vain. After 30 minutes, a barrage of deputies arrived to announce the sale was complete. Later, the sheriff explained he'd received an early bid from the bank and, hearing no others, finalized the sale.
I could say I knew most of my local people out there, and I feel for them, but yet I knew I had to do my job.
Groundswell organizers claim the sheriff changed the rules mid-game, and they vow to challenge the way he handled this sale in court. With photographer Dick Nordling, Colleen Needles, WCCO Television News, Madison, Minnesota.
20 people turned out this afternoon to protest the closing of their Social Security office. That office, located at 928 West Broadway, is scheduled to close at the end of June. The number of people served by that office has decreased in 10 years, and a Social Security official said that by closing that office, they can save $70,000 a year. The Social Security recipients affected by the closing will have to go to other offices, and that protesters claim is an inconvenience. Dave?
Today, the Minnesota Senate Tax Committee approved a Democratic plan to provide $815 million in tax relief over the next 2 years. That puts that bill on a collision course with a $1.2 billion tax package approved Monday by the House. Pat Kessler reports.
The Democratic-controlled tax committee easily approved the tax cut, calling it more fair than a House Republican plan passed Monday.
Minnesota's present income tax forces middle-income taxpayers to pay an unfair share of the cost of government. We intend to remedy this by proposing that middle-income taxpayers receive the bulk of any tax reduction.
The Senate measure reduces income taxes by 14.4%, slightly less than the House plan. It offers much more in property tax cuts, but far less in sales tax relief. And it sets a budget reserve of $500 million, double the House proposal. The committee quickly turned away an attempt by Senate Republicans to cut taxes by 19%, prompting bitter reaction from the GOP.
That's why we've got such high income taxes now, because the DFL raised them, and now the DFL wants to take credit for cutting them back.
After lively debate, the committee approved a surprise provision allowing casino gambling in Ely. That bill has run into trouble in House and Senate committees. The Senate hopes to vote on its tax package this Friday. By next week, House and Senate members will meet face-to-face to work out their differences. Pat Kessler, WCCO Television News.
Also at the state capitol today, the Senate joined the House in passing a resolution, albeit somewhat late, calling on President Reagan not to visit a German military cemetery with Nazi graves. The president arrived in Bonn, West Germany this morning. A House-Senate Conference Committee also approved changes in the Emergency Farm Loan Program. Alterations are expected to expand farm eligibility for state-subsidized loans and create greater incentives for lender participation. And public schools will not open their doors until after Labor Day. From here on in, that bill was signed into law by Governor Purpose today. Debbie?
Signs of protest greet control data shareholders at their annual meeting. That story is next on the 6 p.m. report.
As you work your way up, your goals may exceed your grasp. That's what a First Bank loan is for, to help you overcome obstacles, reach objectives, gain new experience. And with a qualifying First Bank loan, you'll get $100 toward a round-trip flight on Northwest Orient. Coming in first. When that's your attitude, there's no telling how far you can go.
Hi, Emery.
Hey, Charlie, those Johnsonville brats look fantastic.
Of course, they're the best.
I love them.
How about these Italians?
And these kielbasa?
Attention, attention. Charlie, Harley, and Farley Murphy are serving Johnsonville sausage.
Johnsonville brats, Italian and kielbasa. The best threesome you can grill.
Great job, boys.
Thanks, Dad.
The executives of one of Minnesota's largest companies stood before their stockholders today to discuss past losses and future hopes.
But those officers of control data would not be specific about how their plans will affect Twin Cities employees, more of whom may lose their jobs in cutbacks. Ellen Cox reports.
Shareholders didn't have much to say at Control Data's annual meeting. A resolution to avoid selling computers to repressive countries got little support, but another vote showed some signs of discontent with management. Control Data lost money in the first 3 months of the year. Management says it expects only a small profit at best this spring. Recovery to higher profits will take time. When management proposed new incentives for the top 250 executives, stock at a discount, 15% of the shares voted said no. As shareholders' meetings go, that's a large but not unheard of vote against management. Founder William Norris defended the plan as a way to tie managers' fortunes to how well Control Data recovers, to keep the company free from takeovers, and to keep working for the long-term good. Some critics in the investment community have questioned the effort Norris has put into projects like Plato computer-based education.
Never pay off. No chance. Ridiculous. Today, Plato's profitable, and it's going to be the future of the company. So, you know, a lot of that past is baloney. It's still baloney, and baloney's baloney.
Norris largely left it to his second-in-command to talk about Control Data's retrenchment. Neither would say how many thousand people may lose their jobs, wouldn't even call them layoffs.
We, like all industry, have got to improve the productivity of the company, and that's a long-term proposition. We want to do that in a fair and just way for our employees, for all of us.
Beyond that, executives won't say how many people will lose their jobs, just that the corporation will continue to control expenses, and that one way or another, a year from now, Control Data will have fewer people on the payroll. Alan Cox, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
Quite the other story for the Dayton Hudson Corporation. The Twin Cities-based retailer has announced plans to invest more than $500 million in expansion this year. That would include the addition of about 160 new stores.
The city of Minneapolis retained 500 newspaper jobs, and Itasca condominium owners gained a new parking lot as a result of a Minneapolis City Council vote today. The Minneapolis Star and Tribune received council approval to build a $10 million printing plant in North Minneapolis. Condo owners living near the site had fought the plant, fearing noise and pollution. But the city decided to rezone the land for industrial use and sued the condo owners with a parking lot. No construction date for the printing plant has yet been set. Cirpico Incorporated threw itself a party this afternoon, a sort of high-tech ribbon-cutting ceremony to open its new headquarters in the Prudential Office Park in Plymouth. Governor Perkins was tapped to enter the computer command that pulled a magnetic tape from the entry area. Cirpico designs and manufactures controllers for the microcomputer industry, and it currently employs about 70 people. May Day is Law Day in America. In St. Paul today, 31 new Americans were sworn in during a group naturalization ceremony at Landmark Center. To become a U.S. citizen, one must live here 3 to 5 years, be able to read, write, and speak English, pass an exam, and pay a $50 fee.
Government cutbacks are eating up aid to the poor. We'll look at a private solution in just a moment.
If you're eating right, you should know that for the same 180 calories, you could have this much beef, this much fish, this much chicken, or this much Hormel ham, because this is light and lean ham from Hormel, trimmed extra lean to be extra light, but it doesn't taste it because it's 100% real Hormel ham. Light and lean ham from Hormel. It's ham in a whole new light.
For superior soybean weed control that costs over $7 per acre less than Lasso or Dual, Sonolan. So flexible you can soil mix it in 1 tillage pass or 2. So weatherproof it works if it rains too much or too little. So effective it controls tough weeds, even helps fight black nightshade clear through harvest. And before the snow's gone, it's gone too. Soybeans and Sonolan, made for each other.
This is your direct connection to the most progressive banking organization in the world.
Citibank financial account.
I need to write a big check in the morning, and I know I don't have enough in checking.
Maybe we can move some money around.
From basic banking to complex money management, the Citibank financial account works for you 24 hours a day, every day.
And I think that should do it.
The Citibank financial account. 1-800-645-4100. One phone call that puts you in touch with free checking with interest on any balance, insured savings, and a credit card that's also a cash card. All in one account with one monthly statement for less than you probably pay now for checking alone. 50 financial services all available with one phone call. To find out more, call 1-800-645-4100.
Citibank financial account, may I help you?
Call the Citibank financial account and get the most bang for your money.
Statistics seldom tell the entire story, but the fact that Catholic Charities has expanded its third drop-in center would seem to speak volumes. The center on Chicago Avenue in the Elliott Park neighborhood of Minneapolis has been called on to serve an ever-increasing number of people with greater need than ever before. Barb Brown reports on today's grand opening.
Steve Larson is 38 years old, a general laborer with 1 year of college 20 years ago. For the past 8 years, he's been in and out of jobs.
I've found other jobs. I was working in Bloomington at an insulation company. They went bankrupt. I had a dishwashing job downtown. They went out of business last year.
Larson's depended on Catholic Charities branches for meals and recently for shelter, though he just found an apartment.
general assistance has helped me out in my times of unemployment. It sounds like we might be in for another blow there, though.
And as you keep pulling money away from people who are in desperate need, you know what kind of a message that gives them. What we try to do here is try to counteract that and say, yes, to us you're valuable. We do think you're worthwhile. We try to give them some sense of self-esteem.
Monsignor Boxleitner started up the first branch on Franklin Avenue in 1967 for information referral and crisis counseling. Today, the branches provide food, shelter, and employment services. The 3 branches feed 1,000 people a day. 35% more people use the branches this year than last. So the branches have gone through an 18-year transition from needing to provide emergency services to providing a way of life. And volunteers say it's likely the needs will only increase. Barb Brown, WCCO Television News, Minneapolis.
Duluth officials hope today's arrival of the T.S. Merker will attract tourists and become the centerpiece of a proposed waterfront development project. The 162-foot wooden ship sports 21 sails on tall, majestic masts. The Merker will be docked in Duluth and open for daily tours through May. It is the first tall ship to grace Duluth's harbor since 1976. Also in Duluth, a strike by 250 restaurant workers was averted last night. They reached an agreement with the owners of 7 Duluth restaurants after 7 hours of hard bargaining. The terms of the new contract were not revealed, but union officials said no wages will be cut and some may go up.
Attention, everybody. Today is the first day of Minnesota Beautiful Month. This year's Spruce Up Your Space campaign is already in full bloom, kicked off this morning by a tree giveaway program. Other activities during the month include neighborhood trash pickups and tree planting parties. Highway crews closed the Bloomington Ferry Bridge today, they said, because of high water. But actually, we have it on good authority that it's because the county didn't have a caution carp crossing sign to put up. Details of the weather from Mike Fairbourne in a moment.
Tasting yogurt before stirring up the fruit is a killer for many fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt lovers. But Old Home urges you to taste our fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt before stirring up the fruit. You see, Old Home added a little vanilla to our yogurt. Smoother, good for you. Now, stir up the fruit and the Old Home fruit-on-the-bottom yogurt experience is alive and not a killer anymore.
You talked, and at W-Light 103 FM, they listened. You said you enjoy a wide variety of music, including your favorite oldies. And 80% of you who listen to W-Light said a lot of music is very important. Most of you who listen to KS95 told us a lot of music is important to you, too. You don't have to say it twice. You want more music? Listen to W-Light 103 FM. It's light rock and less talk.
Hi, Genie Man here. Look what's new. The Genie Jet Vac. Want to see it work? It's the inside, outside, wet, dry, all over the house cleaning machine. The reusable Jet Vac filter just rinses clean. And Genie Jet Vac's super tough tank won't rust or dent like metal vacs. Only Genie has Jet Vac, all the vac you'll ever need.
Available at Knox Lumber.
Hi, I'm Bert Ruttman at the Lindale Garden Center, and we're celebrating Snapper's Super Value Days.
Drudgery was a way of life for our ancestors. But today, even lawn work is easier because Snapper has the key to quick starts. Electric ignition, the sign of today's most advanced machine. It even has an alternator, like your car, and a powerful high vacuum system. Snapper Electric Starter.
Hey, buy from the Lindale Garden Center because 1, $25 labor certificate valid for 5 years. 2, free lifetime blade sharpening.
If this 1st of May is any indication of what the rest of the month is going to be, I'll take it. I love it.
April, of course, started out nice. We had all those warm days in April, so we're going to show you that. All you statistic gatherers, get your pens out and write all this stuff down now. We had an average temperature of 52.1 degrees. Not surprisingly, 6.1 degrees above the normal. We set records on the 17th, 18th, and 19th, the highest. The 18th with 89 degrees. In the rain category, and it was rain in April. In fact, this is only the 5th April out of the last 40 years that we've not had at least a measurable snow here in the Twin Cities. 1.81 inches of precipitation, and that's a little bit below the normal, even for April, okay? And our season snow total right now is standing at 72.7. I say right now because we can still get snow until the 28th of May. Well, we won't think about that. All the clouds were to the south of us. This is the cloud shield that was over us yesterday, but as you can see, it cleared out and moved to the south, and all that sunshine over us today. You would think, if you were walking around outside, that we were warmer than we really were. Look at this, 68 right now. Temperatures out to the west into the 70s. We did not make it into the 70s today. We're saving all that for tomorrow. We need to improve the weather as we go along here, but we did manage to squeak up to 69 for a high, 50 degrees for an overnight low, and, of course, no rainfall today here in the Twin Cities. Take a look at the other parts of the country, though. There are still some problem spots, scattered showers down through parts of New Mexico and Colorado, but this active weather system, a big upper-level low-pressure system that's been moving slowly through the nation's midsection, again today is triggering severe weather all the way from southern Illinois down into parts of Mississippi and Alabama, where a tornado watch is in effect till 10 o'clock yet tonight, and some heavy rains continuing to fall with that system as it tracks off the east. For us, nothing but sunshine, a little bit of precipitation up in northwestern North Dakota, traveling east. The northern part of the state tomorrow may see a cloud or two or a sprinkle or two, but it doesn't look like it's going to affect us here in the southern regions of the state. But by tomorrow, the weather map shows that low pressure area continuing in the southeast, showers and thunderstorms a little further east, a little break back where they're getting the severe weather today, and high pressure extending all the way from the southwest up over us. So our weather's going to remain very, very nice for the next couple of days. In fact, we could even get hot here by the weekend. That's 80s out here to the west. Those 80s are nudging into the Dakotas, and we could see an 80-degree reading here in the Twin Cities by Saturday, the way things are looking right now. Our current conditions, sunny, 68, 26% humidity, east winds at 14, 3016, and the barometer's holding steady. Our forecast then, clear and cool tonight, a pleasant evening. It'll drop down to 45 degrees, though, maybe even cooler in some of the outlying areas because we're so dry. Sunny and mild tomorrow, warmer, 75 degrees, southeast winds at 5 to 15. Mostly clear tomorrow night, a low of 50, and Friday mostly sunny with a high of 75. Now, look at this extended outlook. Partly cloudy on Saturday with the high in the low 80s. A chance of showers or thunderstorms on Sunday and Monday as we cool off a little bit, but still staying well above the normal. Our normal is about 65. We're still going to stay up into the 70s.
Sounds like we're going to be watering the yard at least in the early part of the weekend.
May have to, yeah.
More good news today. The Torrance Twins team trounced the timid Tigers today, trotting to their 10th triumph. R.J. Fritz with the highlights in a moment. There's one of them.
What would it take to change the way you think about post-emergence corn herbicides? A herbicide that stops velvet leaf and your other major broadleaf weeds. A herbicide that stops worry about stalk brittleness, brace root damage, and vapor drift. A herbicide that gives you a longer broadcast application window. The herbicide is Buctril. Ask your dealer about Buctril. It stops weeds, stops worry.
When Coldwell Banker Real Estate helps you find and buy your home, you get something extra, the Sears Home Buyers Savings Book. Because as part of the Sears Financial Network, we can help you save on things like washers, dryers, TVs and VCRs, tools, paint, and more. So if you're buying a home, call Coldwell Banker. You can save at Sears and get the home you've always wanted. Coldwell Banker Real Estate, the home sellers, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
When it comes to getting a loan, some banks can make you feel a little unwelcome.
Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. Come back tomorrow night and try it again. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. Yeah. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in. Keep a knocking, but you can't come in.
Next time, come to Minnesota Federal. Our doors are always open.
Look out, Twin Cities, we're the music industry's newest hotspot. We've got the sound everybody seems to be wanting. We're one of the country's top 5 recording centers. Acts are coming here from coast to coast to make it big, right here in our own hometown. And some of the biggest hits in the United States are being recorded right here in the Twin Cities. What makes us so totally awesome?
A cover story on the Twin Cities music business, beginning Wednesday on the 10 p.m. report.
Not so fast, folks. There are 141 games remaining on the Twins' schedule. But
they're going to win them all.
That's within the realm of nonsense, yes.
I think you made a good point when you said that when you're going this good, you just, every time you go up there, you know you're going to get a base hit. How often do we get a chance to report 10 straight wins? 7-3 the Twins today. The last time the Twins won 10 straight was back in 1963. Now, their longest win streak was in 1980 when they strung 12 together. This weekend at the Dome, the Twins could make history against Baltimore. Well, streak or not, winning 2 in Detroit is a great way to open the Eastern Division schedule. Now, again, the Twins used the big inning to beat the Tigers today. Mickey Hatcher's bloop single provided the go-ahead run, 2-1 in the 5th inning. It was the first of 6 runs in that inning. The big blow came off starter Jack Morris. Ken Herbig blasted one to the upper deck here, his second home run of the 2-game series. 3 runs, there he goes, 3 runs scored, and the Twins led it 5-1. Herbig's hitting slump and the Twins' losing skid were practically hand in hand. Now Herbie has 4 homers, his average approaching 300. Final run of the 5th inning barrage was this solo shot by Roy Smalley, his second of the year. Morris is now 3-3. Twin starter Frank Viola got the win. He's 4-2. Rick Lysander was superb in relief. He couldn't get a man out a month ago. While winning 10 straight, the Twins have outscored their opponents 74-30, including 2 shutouts and 3 games of 10 runs or more. The record now stands at 12-9. Around the National League, look at that. Atlanta clubbed Cincinnati 17-9. The Cubs by 1 over San Francisco. The Dodgers 2-1 over the Cardinals. It ain't over till it's over, and for the North Stars, the season is over. But not until the green and white gave it the old college try. They dropped another heartbreaking overtime game to Chicago last night in Game 6. Final was 6-5. A Keith Acton backhand in the 3rd had given the Stars a 5-4 lead, but the Hawks got a goal from Troy Murray with only 5 minutes to play, and it was headed for overtime. Then at 15:41, Captain Darryl Sutter drilled in the winner. Yes, it was Sutter who also scored the overtime winner in Game 4.
It's pretty frustrating, you know. We had our chances to put them away there, but realistically, we stole one the other night, and this game really shouldn't have been. In all reality, it was unbelievable. We won last game, but still disappointed we didn't win this series.
I don't think our team's got anything to be ashamed of. I thought we worked our butts off, and with any luck at all, we would have won this series. And I guess it seems like it just wasn't meant to be this year for us in the playoffs. And the summer started.
Newest member of the Viking linebacker corps was introduced at the Viking offices in Winter Park today. 6'6" Chris Dolman, first pick in this year's draft out of the University of Pittsburgh, says he likes Minnesota, what he's seen so far. The Vikings haven't been used to having first-round picks with a positive attitude.
Well, why wouldn't I have a positive attitude? I mean, I got a new job, coming into a new environment, and I haven't had any negative things happen to me, since I've been here.
The Detroit Lions have traded quarterback Gary Danielson to Cleveland for an undisclosed draft choice. Last night, the Lions acquired Joe Ferguson from Buffalo and then had 5 quarterbacks. So Danielson will now have to compete with Bernie Kosar if the Browns get Kosar, as expected in the supplemental draft. CBS Sports and the sports world in general suffered a loss today. It was the death of highly respected TV announcer Frank Gleber. The 51-year-old Gleber died while jogging in Dallas, where he is sports director of a radio station. Gleber has covered football, basketball, and golf for CBS. Frank Gleber dead at the age of 51. And the Strikers can pull off a huge upset tonight at the Met Center. They play host to Las Vegas in Game 4 of their best-of-5 MISL series. And the Strikers lead there 2-1. They can eliminate the Americans if they should win tonight. They've been playing well, over 7,000 the other night.
Very good. Thank you, Ralph. We think you'll be interested in joining us tonight at 10 for 2 special reports. One looks at a couple of changed campus radicals. 13 years ago, they were protesting the Vietnam War. Today, they live a typical upper-middle-class life.
And we will explore why the Twin Cities has exploded on the music scene, becoming one of the country's hottest recording spots. We'll see you tonight at 10.
It's America's #1 game show.
Stay tuned for the Wheel of Fortune